Hi, I'm Clement with Clement Contracting. Today we're going to be talking about secondary suites. Secondary suite is a rental property within your existing home. Points we'll touch on today is the permits, money, of course, and demographic. Permits. In order to have a fully legal suite within your home, you're going to need a building permit, an electrical permit, and a plumbing permit. Then in addition to those three permits, you're also going to need to adhere to a lot of city code and bylaw. Specifically, you need to have an HRV. You need to adhere to the sound transmission class ratings for that suite. You need to have smoke-tight barriers between the two suites. You need a separate entrance for that suite and a whole host of other things. So now we're going to talk about money. Depending on what kind of return on investment you're looking for, what kind of rent you think you might get, that's going to help you determine what you're going to want to set for your budget in order to get the most out of your investment. So with all of that said, I'd like to give you guys an example just to give you a little bit of insight into that process. So right now the suite that we're developing, like what I mentioned earlier in the older house, the customer had a budget of about $25,000. With a couple of changes that we needed to make, we're getting a little bit closer to the high 20s, close to $30,000, which is around where I told them that they would probably end up being. With that said, the suite itself is probably going to bring in about $1,000 a month. So if he gets, 3 years of a full lease out of that, then he will more than have covered his initial investment. And that's not even taking into consideration the increased value of his home. And beyond that initial investment, he's going to have continuous income on that suite for as long as he lives there. So it really is a pretty quick turnaround. So when you're considering possibly putting in your rental suite, about a 2 to 3 year recuperation on your initial investment is a pretty good bracket to be within. So talking about potential rent fees, this ties in really well to our next point, which is the demographic. Demographic has to do with who you're going to be marketing your suite to. So you got to think about your location. Are you close to the university? Are you out in the suburbs? Are you close to any particular amenities that could make it desirable for somebody? Are you close to downtown, for example? Then you got to consider, are you looking for just one tenant? Are you looking for a couple? Are you looking for a young family? Are you going to allow dogs and cats? Or are you going to allow any other pets? These are all things that you need to consider when thinking about everything that's going to go into your suite and ultimately who you want there, because they are sharing your home at the end of the day. So guys, I hope that this has been helpful. In all honesty, we've only just scratched the surface. There's a lot of detail that goes into these secondary suite developments. We're going to dive a little deeper in that on our blog post. So if you'd like to know a little bit more, if you're considering doing something like this in your home, please check it out, and we'll be posting more videos like this.